Okay, here's the deal. I was gonna do this whole podcast thing, and then I forgot to plug in my camera. So instead of saying I'm not doing it at all, I've said I'll just do it from my phone, but everything's gonna be done in one take, and then it will just be uploaded straight to YouTube. So this is going to be the most scuffed episode of the New Dawn podcast. That's not a bad thing, so to speak, but it just means that if I mess up, if I want things more cleanly done, that will have to take place in the next episode because, well, I really just kind of want to get it done at this point and just get it out there and get it started, and see what it would be like if I did it unedited. So we'll see how it goes. If I like how this goes, then maybe I'll leave it in this format. But on Thursday's episode, I will be using a camera and a microphone instead of just doing everything from my phone. So let's get started on today's topics. I have 3 topics prepared. I probably won't spend too much time on this since I'm just doing it from my phone. I don't want it to take up too much space, and I'd rather just get it uploaded to YouTube. So we're going to talk about 3 topics today. This is my pencil that I write in my book with. I have a book for this podcast to help me keep track of topics. So we have 3 topics. We have about me. I'm going to talk about myself for a little bit. I have 2 questions to go over. Then I'm going to talk about the New Dawn Jedi Order, some basics about it, and overall what I think about it. And then we will be covering Star Wars. I have a couple questions there as well. And I will be talking about LucasArts, Lucasfilm Games. They announced a new Star Wars game last night over on Twitter. Very exciting. Psych. We will talk about why I'm not too thrilled about that. And a lot of people on Twitter did not seem too thrilled about it either. I actually got a notification for it, which is why I was like, why did I get a notification for this? That's besides the point. So our first question from the About Me section is from Gavin the King. He asked me about my life story. If I was doing an hour-long thing about my life story, I'd probably take up like 30 minutes of it. Now, I don't want to take 30 minutes talking about myself, so I will just do a rough summary of kind of general chunks of my life, and then we'll move on to the next question. So, I was born October 23rd, 1997. I am 23 years old. We lived in a different house first couple of years. Then my younger brother was born. Then we moved to the house where we are today, where we've lived since then. It wasn't that far of a move, but we needed a bigger house because we had a larger family at that point. So we've moved to this house, and we've been here for probably about 18, 19 years, I think. So long time. Let's see. So by probably like a year or so later, I probably started going to kindergarten. The school that I went, there's a school not too far from my house. That is not the school that I went to. I went to one probably like a mile or so away. It wasn't that far, but it was not the closest option. But that is where I met my very first friend in kindergarten. And then we were best friends for the longest time. Probably through elementary. Then he ended up going to a different middle school. And then he ended up coming to my middle school in 8th grade. And then we met another friend at that point. And then during middle school, during 5th grade, I picked up band. And I continued doing that through middle school. I played clarinet in 5th grade. And then half of 6th grade, I played clarinet. And then I did bass clarinet the other half of 6th grade, I believe it was. Or 7th grade I started. One of those years I started. Then I played bass clarinet pretty much until I got to high school. And then I started marching band. And then I did marching band for my friends went to a different school, so I found a pastime. Um, I ended up doing marching band for all 4 years of high school. I played clarinet in marching band for all 4 years of high school. My first semester as a freshman, I played bass clarinet. And I would continue to play bass clarinet through different means as I would progress through high school. Like I joined the symphony, which is like orchestra and band mixed together. Played bass clarinet in that for like 2 years. Was I in it for 2 years or 3 years? Probably 3 years, I think. I did bass clarinet for that, and then I believe eventually I started doing contrabass for that. But the second semester of my high school year, I picked up this. To me, it was this legendary instrument called the contrabass clarinet. Now, if you've never seen it, it is like the grandfather of clarinets. I believe there's another bigger clarinet. I've never seen one of those. But I got to play the contrabass clarinet for years. And then eventually I graduated high school. And then my brother picked it up. Did he? Yeah, he picked it up. So that was kind of cool. And then my first year after high school, I was in this awkward stage of like, well, what do I do now? And for a while, this is when I was still talking to my dad, I believe. So I graduate high school, right? I graduate back in May. And I work through the summer. And after summer ends in like October, some drama happens with my father, and I end up not working for his company anymore. And I stopped talking to him less and less and less, to the point where if he texts me now, it's a very quick response, and that's it. I don't like talking to him. That's besides the point. So then my brother picked up the contrabass, and he started doing marching band as well, but he plays the saxophone. He's really good at playing the saxophone. During his time during marching band, I got to be a band parent. I called myself a band brother because I won't no parent. So I was basically helping move equipment, and my mom and my older brother, they were doing this at the same time. So I started doing that, and I had a lot of fun doing that. It was a lot of working out. I probably took off only a couple Fridays. And it's only for like a semester. And after that, it's just concerts that I go to, right? So then my brother graduates, and then sometime while my brothers, I keep getting my stories mixed up. Sorry. I do not think I'm going to keep this format because I keep going all over the place. I do think the next few episodes will be edited, recorded, edited, so they look clean. I don't sit here saying 1,000 times, 10,000 times, like that. Where was I at? I was talking about, so sometime before my brother graduated, I started working for this company. I really liked it. I've worked in total throughout my entire life. I've technically 4 jobs. I was like a janitor, chore type person at my dad's office. Then I was like an paid intern, if you will. Then I worked for Home Depot. I did that. When did I do that? That was probably a year or two after I graduated high school. And I did lot stuff. And that's basically like you load the vehicles. You help customers load the vehicles, especially if they have a heavy load. I think one of my favorite stories, I'm going to talk about this because it's stuck in my head forever. There was this time, group of college girls, they pulled up and they were getting what were they getting? What were they getting? Plywood, I think. They got like a single piece or 2 of plywood. There was 4 of them and 1 of me. And they were like, yeah, can you help us load it and tie it up? First off, whenever a customer asked me to tie something up, I was like, oh no, because I always knew I was gonna mess it up somehow. And these ladies, the nice ladies, did not. They brought a car, and I'm sure they got home safe because I didn't hear anything about it on the news, or I didn't get talked to or anything. So it clearly got back to their place fine. But I had to get it up there on my own. So I like this is probably one of the reasons why I have a bad back today, because I worked at Home Depot for almost a year. I picked it up and kind of put it on my head, this large piece of plywood, and I put it on their car, and then I got it all tied up and they went on their way. I will always think about that whenever I think about Home Depot, that and the crappy managers that I had. So I worked at Home Depot for probably almost a year. So I got fired in October, and then I believe it was March. No, it was May. The following May, I started working at Home Depot. I worked there for about a year. I pushed carts inside. It got really hot during the summer. It sucked. So in about April, I quit because I was just tired of the managers and stuff. 100% because of the managers. I could still, if I had better managers, we had probably we probably had 2 to 3 good managers, or maybe 4, and then one of them left, so we only had a few. But the bad ones were always when I worked. I hardly ever got the good managers. So a lot of the reason why I left was because of the managers. 100% because of the managers. I probably would still be working there today, most likely, had I had better managers. Just gonna say. So then I leave in April. I finish out that semester of school. I'll talk about school in a second. And I take the summer off. I do family trips, spend time with my family and all that stuff. And about August is when I started my last job. This was about a long time ago at this point. I worked there for a year and a couple months right when COVID hit. So I worked there from August to August. I believe 2020 was my first year. And then COVID hit in March 15th. So on March 15th, that'll be my year of only really going out when I absolutely have to. I was lucky enough that I got to work from home for probably, let's see, it was March, so April, May, and then like the first week of June. So like 2 months, 2.25 months, I worked from home. And then now I'm doing chores around the house. I try and do my best to help out since I don't have a job currently. I do plan on going back to my last job. They have said they will take me back. But I want to wait to get my vaccine first because, well, my last job, it's kind of easy to get sick. You're exposed to germs a lot, and I kind of want to not get sick. So I said I would go back during the summer because I'm assuming I'm going to get my vaccine before then. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so that's kind of my life. I did go to college. I started going a couple years ago. My first semester of college, I was going for psychology. Then I realized that I did not want to be a therapist or whatever, a psychiatrist, if you will. Those get into some serious topics. And I was like, well, if I still want to be helpful, my mindset when I went to college was I want to do something helpful in the world. And in my mind, that was being a therapist so I can help people mentally. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, I can't hardly even help myself mentally sometimes. How can I help other people? So then I thought, well, what is a different route I can go so that I can help people? Then it hit me. My family, they call me they call me several things. They call me the dog whisperer, the child whisperer, mainly because I'm good with children. And this led me down a path of, well, I could teach them. Kids and I get along really well for some reason. I'm creative, so this is mostly why why I want to move into, or why I wanted to become a kindergarten teacher. First off, kindergartners are adorable, and you can't tell me otherwise. Secondly, it is the most, I don't want to say the easiest teaching, but it's probably for me, it would have been the easiest trying to teach kindergarten level stuff compared to like 3rd grade, 4th grade, whatever. So that led me to get my last job so I could start being around children more and understanding this is how things work. Now I'm starting to lean more towards running my own business. And I stopped going to school probably a year ago, I think is when I stopped. I do intend on going back to school, but I do not think it will be for kindergarten. Mainly just because after working with children for so long, I kind of realized that, well, I can't really teach them after taking all the classes, not all the classes, but taking some classes and actually working with them. It got to the point where I was like, well, I'm not sure if I could teach kids. And partly it was because of the teachers I was given. Some of them were like, oh, there's not a lot of men in this business. And it kind of was like, they weren't doing it in a nice way either. And I would be like, yeah, I kind of don't want to do this anymore. So then I stopped going to school, and now I'm at the point of trying to figure out, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? Should, this stuff not work out? I've decided that I think I want to try and run my own business. So when I do return to school, I'll be returning for business management, business related things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't decided on what kind of business I want to run yet. I have put out a couple ideas on the internet, which is probably a bad idea that I did it, but they're my ideas regardless. So let's go on to the next question. That's kind of a wrap up, highlights of my life. If more questions pop up, I can answer them in the next one. After the next one, though, I'm going to try and stick to one topic, or 1 to 2 topics per podcast. So now I'm going to butcher this. I was trying to read this beforehand, and I could not get it across. So I'm going to say I'm sorry in advance. And this person asked several questions. I have my TikTok up right here too, just to see if there's any more. Yeah, I got all of them written down. Darth Emmett Ito. Pretty sure that's how you say it. His first question was, why did you start TikTok? Oh, yes. Present day. So COVID hit back in March last year, March 15th. I remember because that was the last actual day I worked at a site. I did go into public like the following Monday or Tuesday afterwards for a meeting. And then I got Starbucks after. And because, it wasn't too serious back then. Like, you could go out into public and not have to worry about wearing a mask, although the workers were at that point, but not everybody had to because the numbers were just starting to climb up. So, yeah, that was probably one of the few times that I went into public since COVID hit. Or one of the last times, I guess I should say. There was one more time where I, actually got out of my vehicle. And that was to go to the dentist back in August, September, something like that. Around that time, I went to the dentist, and that was the only other time where I actually got out. Now, I have gone out, I've gone out on drives since COVID started. But I haven't really gone out much since. You can tell by the fact that I look like Tom Hanks from Castaway. Anyways, the reason as to why I started TikTok. So, COVID hit. April, May passed by. Working from home. First week of June, worked from home. The rest of June and early July, I worked on projects around the house. July is about when I started TikTok. Now, my main reason as to why I started TikTok was because of COVID. Because I wasn't really doing much and I wanted to start putting effort into something again. And I have tried several times to become a content creator, but I've always been distracted by other things like school or work or whatever. Or back then, I've tried YouTube several times. I've tried a group YouTube account. That one's definitely dead. I wouldn't say this YouTube channel is dead. I did intend on posting on it sometime. I might test my recording equipment soon, but mainly I've been streaming over on Twitch. If you didn't know, I picked that up because people were suggesting that I stream Twitch, and I was like, well, I don't have the recording equipment. And people were suggesting that I could stream from Twitch straight from my console. So I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. So that's where all my gameplay is from, is on Twitch. Anyways, mainly because of COVID is why I started TikTok. And now I continue to work on trying to become a potential full-time content creator. I do think that, like I said earlier, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do to try and be helpful, I think that I can be helpful by being a content creator. You hear it all the time that people are saying that you help me and you entertain me. I really just want to be entertainment. But that's mainly why I started TikTok, was to see what it was like, become a content creator. And because of COVID and I didn't really have anything else going on, so now I do all this. I Twitch stream. I was posting on YouTube. And I mainly do TikTok. But I should start, once I get more cosplay stuff going, I'm going to do Instagram, and I guess I could do Twitter, but I'm not a huge fan of Twitter. I have it. I don't know why, but I have it. So there is the About Me section of this podcast. So I guess we'll just hop on into the next one, which is the New Dawn Jedi Order. Now, I don't have any questions for this one, mainly just because it's pretty straightforward. So I'll just talk about the basics of it and overall what I think and what I think of it. So the basics of the New Dawn Jedi Order. One day I was just chilling out, and I was like, well, why don't I start my own Jedi Order? I've been watching a bunch of Star Wars recently, and it's the main reason as to why I'm going back and watching Star Wars, is because I wanted to start my own Jedi Order. I don't know where I got the idea from. I was just chilling out and it popped into my head one day, and then I turned it into its own TikTok account. And I've posted rules on it. I've posted some instructional things, some life lessons and stuff like that. So it's not like it's not a huge thing currently. There are like 20 to almost 30 people registered. But my current problem is I'm doing 20 videos a day on my main TikTok account. And if you did not know, doing 20 videos a day it's mentally draining, because I'm constantly trying to think of 20 video ideas. Even if it's the same audio, I still have to come up with those different ideas so they're not identical to each other. So I haven't really posted much on the New Dawn page recently, but once things start turning around and I start solidifying more things, I will start posting more on that page again. I was posting lessons as I was watching the movies, but I didn't want to do it through the show because, well, technically the show does it already through the Clone Wars. So once I get to episode 3, I'm almost done with season 4. I think I got a couple episodes left that I'm going to watch after this. Once I get to episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, I will start posting lessons again. And then I'll probably hit the next show sometime after that. And then I'll have to take another break from posting because I'm having trouble coming up with lessons. Because all the lessons that I would say are probably going to be a part of a movie. So I think, and I do need to start writing down those lessons so that should people want to teach Padawans, they have criteria to teach. What do I think of the New Dawn as a whole? I like it. I think there's it's a good idea. I think it's a good premise. I might even base my business off of it if possible. I think it would be a good idea to run my own business based off of it. The problem is getting the materials and the supplies and the location and all that stuff, and then figuring out how it would all work out and what I would try and do with that. But I do like it though. And I am glad that some people are getting on board with it. I am sorry that I don't post as much as I probably should be. I did kind of blow through a bunch of videos right at the beginning as I created the channel because I was super excited about it. In long term though, I've kind of run out of ideas, mainly because I'm doing 20 videos a day, and that's why I've kind of slowed down on posting for both of my accounts. My backup, I guess it's technically a second account. It's a backup, I guess. It was a secret account, now it's a backup. And then the New Dawn page don't get posted on as much anymore for the sole fact that I'm posting 20 videos a day. I'm using that as my excuse. And I think it's a pretty good excuse. So, that's going to cover the New Dawn topic. I didn't talk about it as much. There wasn't really any questions about it. And I figured I'd just do a little quick update / summary / what I thought. So let's move on to our third and final topic, which is Star Wars. We're going to talk. I have 2 questions, and then we're going to talk about the game that was announced last night on Twitter, and we'll just talk about some other Star Wars games that are supposed to be coming out and all this other stuff. So let's get going. The Darth Emmett Ito commented again. These are both his questions, so thank you for your questions. How many sabers do you have? Well, I have those Hasbro sabers, the one I showed on TikTok the other day, that blue Qui-Gon one. I probably have like 10 to 15 or so of those, maybe. Probably closer to 10. I have one from Disneyland that's blue. I have a couple of the old, I don't know if Hasbro made them, but they're like, some of them are light up, some of them are not. Some of them just don't work anymore. I have 2 of the Disney toy sabers that are like semi-collapsible. They light up. When I first started on TikTok, these were the sabers I used in my bits. Because at the time I didn't have any fancy sabers. And also back then I was waiting on for Ultra Sabers to send me my saber, which they never did. We hate Ultra Sabers on this account. We do not stan Ultra Sabers. But my nice sabers, I would consider them fancy, but compared to other sabers that are out there, they're not fancy. But compared to anything I've had before, yes, they are definitely my fanciest sabers that I own. I'm looking at them. They're right over there. I have 4 of them. I got my first one off of an Etsy page from Age of Sabers, but then I did more research and I found out you could find this design from pretty much everywhere that sells sabers. But I still trust Aegis sabers. They just don't have as many designs as somewhere like Crimson Dawn does. Now, 3 out of my 4 sabers have come from Crimson Dawn, and I love all my sabers. All 4 of them I love. I got the, let's see, I got, what was it called? I believe it was called the Defender from Aegis Sabers. I got that one first. I got that one probably back in September. Yeah. And then I believe after that, I got the 2 Wraiths. That was a little before my birthday. And I got that because I hit 1,000 followers. And I said I would do a live stream and I would let my fans pick the next saber I would get. And I did this whole little competition, and I let a couple people pick. They joined my live. They picked a red wraith and a blue wraith, and I will always associate the saber blade with the hilt color. So I do a blue and a red. Then my other 2 I believe I have are white, and one might be green, I think. So I got my 4 nicer sabers. I do intend on post-COVID, once I'm earning money again, I will probably add more to my collection. I love them though. They're all really great. Crimson Dawn is really great. I would highly suggest going to visit them. They have, I was looking the other day at their page, and one of their cheapest sabers. Now, I don't know if the sale is still going on or not, but one of their cheapest NeoPixel sabers was like a Ray styled hilt, I think. I don't know if it was exactly Ray's. I think it might have been slightly different, but it was like $160 for a NeoPixel. If you don't know what a NeoPixel saber is, it's basically LEDs are through the entire hilt, not the entire hilt, the entire blade, and it's not in hilt. All of my sabers are in hilt, which means the base of the blade is going to be very bright, but as you look further down, it won't be as bright. NeoPixels are bright throughout. Although I'm very worried about getting a NeoPixel because I feel like if you're trying to duel with that, I'm not gonna ever duel with a NeoPixel, a NeoPixel, because I'm afraid I would break it, and then I just have a chunk of blank. But I would highly suggest checking out Crimson Dawn. They have they have a variety of designs. First off, if you want to look at all their designs, they vary. I believe, I want to say their most expensive, like in hilt lit saber is like 200, maybe a little more, might be 300, maybe a little less. I don't know. All the ones that I got were about 100 or so. And then on my birthday, I got another saber, and it was the last saber that I got, the Typhoon, one of those. And it is the largest hilt that I have. And you can take off like the bottom of it, which I absolutely love. You can make it smaller if you wanted to. I tend to leave it as the largest one because I like the fact that it's the largest one. It's probably one of my favorite hilts, to be honest. That and the Defender, just because those are like, first off, the largest hilt, and then my first hilt will always probably be my favorite. So that's how many sabers I have. I have a massive collection. I'm General Grievous, if you will. The next question, do I have Star Wars merch? Now, on my own page, I can't really put specifically Star Wars merch. I can kind of make my own that isn't really hinted towards it. Like, I have the 150th merch, and because there's no real Star Wars stuff attached to it, I can say it's mine. But shirts-wise, I probably have a shirt that says Star Wars on it. I went to Disneyland as a kid with my family, and we did that Rebel Spy thing, and I got to be the Rebel Spy. And I got a Rebel Spy shirt. A long time ago, I had one of those clone helmets that you could wear. Other than that, oh, I have my 3D printed blaster that I use, and I have the clone blaster, and I have the Han Solo blaster, and I have Star Wars toys from when I was a kid. I actually was going to make TikToks about those. I might do that sometime soon. You heard it here first. I'm going to be making Star Wars toy videos sometime soon. Other than that, I don't really know. I might. I do want to get more like cosplay stuff. When I go to Disneyland post-COVID, once everything's finally back to normal or close to it anyway, I want to get, they sell Jedi robes there. I kind of want to get them. Even though they're not the color that I would personally want to wear, I still want to get them because it would be great for cosplay. I also want to make my own lightsaber when I go to Disneyland. I also want to get a legacy lightsaber, but I don't know. First off, I don't know which one I would get. And secondly, I don't know if there's a hilt at that point that I would like enough to get. Because I know they have like Obi-Wan from episodes 1 and 2, I think. But I want Obi-Wan's hilt from episode 3 or later. And then I want Qui-Gon's hilt. I know they have, I think they have like Ezra, and they have Count Dooku, and they have Vader and Anakin and all these other ones. But I don't know if there's one that I personally would like. Like there is the Luke Skywalker one, and that one's close to Obi-Wan Kenobi's one, but it's different enough that I'm like, well, it's not Obi-Wan Kenobi's hilt. I don't know why I have to have Obi-Wan Kenobi's over Luke Skywalker's. They're both like practically identical, but there's just this thing in my head that's like, they're different. There's just something, even though they're almost identical, they're almost exactly identical. First off, the other day I posted a TikTok about this, but I want to talk about this since we're on the subject of Star Wars. The fact that Luke's green crystal could be Qui-Gon's hilt, or from Qui-Gon's, is my absolute favorite fan theory going on right now. I don't even know if it's a huge fan theory. It's now my personal theory that he got that from Qui-Gon's saber, because Obi-Wan still had it after he fought Maul. Then Obi-Wan used, I think it was said in a comic somewhere, that Obi-Wan used Qui-Gon's hilt for a little while after, and then he eventually made his episode 2 hilt. So that's kind of that rant. Also, I heard the other day that Luke had a yellow saber. And the fact that now my headcanon, this person who posted the TikTok when I talked about, when he talked about Luke having a yellow saber, and I posted a video about it, and he commented and saying, well, what if Rey got Luke's yellow crystal? And I was like, that would be absolutely amazing. That would just add so much more to it, because not only did she bury, I don't think she built the saber right then and there, but the homestead was in the background. So what if she found the yellow crystal while exploring Luke's homestead? Possible. Possible. I did not read the comic, but possible. Just like Obi-Wan found Qui-Gon's crystal from going through Ben's household. I like those theories. So yeah, that's all the Star Wars merch that I have. Those are all the sabers that I have. There are some more hilts that I would like to get. Like I want to get a Qui-Gon one that's RGB, so I can make it blue and not the traditional green. I know his hilt is green, his saber is green, but I had the blue toy. I kind of want a blue one, so I want that, and I want to get an Obi-Wan Kenobi hilt from episode 3 and later. Yeah. So that is my collection of sabers. Some future sabers that I would want, and my current Star Wars merch. I will be making TikToks sometime soon about the Star Wars toys that I own. I do not have all of them. Some of them have just gone missing over the years. But I have about a box worth. I could even go over Legos that I have, Lego minifigures, because back in December I started getting back into Legos a little bit, and I got the Mandalorian battle set. Not the Mandalorian, it's a Mandalorian, with just a bunch of random Mandalorians. So those are the recent sets that I've built. I didn't really build much as a kid. I liked the minifigures more, and my brother, he built the stuff, but they're all broken up at this point, or most of them are broken up anyway. But once COVID ends, I'll start going out more. I'll start getting more money, and then I might eventually start doing more sets and doing more building stuff. For my birthday, I did get those big heads, Lego Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. I have those propped up in my room, and I absolutely love them. And every episode of The Mandalorian we watched, did it end or start the week after my birthday? I don't remember actually. No, I think we were about halfway through. And every episode that we watched after that, I had those Lego minifigures in the room. And they're adorable, and I love them. That's besides the point. Eventually I will start going out and getting more stuff post-COVID. Probably when I don't have to wear a mask out in public. Ideally, that's the thing, right? Is when I will start going back out and start doing more things outside when I don't have to wear a mask. I'd prefer not to wear a mask, right? Which is mainly why I've stayed home for almost a year straight. You should wear your mask when you go out. The only time that I will not wear a mask if I go out is if I'm on a drive, because I'll just be in my truck. But if I'm going into somewhere, of course, I will wear a mask. But like when I'm at home, I'm clearly not wearing a mask right now. If I had COVID, I would be wearing a mask. Anyways, next subject of Star Wars. Lucas Games, we're just going to call them Lucas Games from here on out. On their Twitter last night, I'm pretty sure it was last night. I got the notification for it last night. They have announced Star Wars Pinball VR. So you can already get Star Wars Pinball. Not the VR version, but you can get Star Wars Pinball on Xbox. I've seen it because I've been browsing through the Star Wars page looking for games. I've been one to do that. It's why I got Squadrons and Fallen Order and the Celebration Edition of Battlefront 2 the other day, because I was browsing and it was all $45. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that. And, well, you browse the Star Wars page, you see the pinball stuff, right? I don't know if it's specifically Star Wars on the Xbox. I know it's specifically Star Wars. I don't know if it's specifically on the Xbox or if it's only on Xbox, or if it's like all consoles or anything. I believe that is something that you could do on all consoles. They've announced a VR version. So not only, I'm not sure if this is like controversial or anything. I'm personally not a huge fan of this. I was kind of like, I'm waiting for Lego Star Wars news. We have not heard a single thing about the new Lego Star Wars game, and I pre-ordered the deluxe edition for it, because you just automatically get all DLCs as they come out, and you don't have to pay for it. And it's not much more than the normal game. It's like 70 something bucks, and the normal game's like $60. I would highly recommend doing it. But I'm at the point where I'm like, well, I kind of want to get it. I just want to get it. But I don't want it to come out, released earlier. And people are theorizing lately that it's going to be delayed again. So that's just even more worrisome. I don't mind it being delayed if it comes out well polished and it's good. If it comes out after being delayed so many times, right? They delayed it last year. It was announced 2019. They did a gameplay trailer, and in the gameplay trailer, they said spring 2021. And we were all thinking it was going to be like sometime late last year, I think is what we were thinking. I don't remember when. So that's, yeah, it's very worrying. The fact that they haven't really said anything since the gameplay trailer. I would like to hear some news. That would be nice to hear. If they're going to delay it again, I would like to know sooner. That way they can have more time to work on it. And that way, we can all stop worrying about it. I know people have tried to contact them and they all kind of get the same rough message of, we don't really know when it is. Some people have said it's still on track. Some people are saying it's going to be delayed. Everyone in the Lego Star Wars who's excited for this game is mixed up about it. They don't know what's going on. So I think it would be, personally, I think it would be a good business move to say, we're going to delay it again to like summer or fall or whenever they're going to delay it to. And if they are going to delay it, then they need to promise that it's going to come out a good game. It's going to be well polished and not just thrown out there. Like, if they are going to delay it, it needs to be good because they've already delayed it once. If they're going to delay, I don't want another Cyberpunk, right? Cyberpunk on its own is a great game, but it can be very glitchy. They're still trying to kind of fix it, I believe. Overall, though, it's very worrying, to say the least. I know I've said that already, but it is worrying. You can't tell me it's not worrying. The fact that they haven't said anything since that one trailer and then kind of disappeared off the planet. And since then, the only news we've gotten has been through Lego commercials where we've seen like small gameplay snippets. And other than that, we haven't heard from actual Lego or TT Games, whoever's making it. Haven't heard nothing from them. So hopefully they say something soon. Pinball VR, very, very niche group. You're saying people who like pinball, first off. And secondly, people who have VR headsets. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Not everybody went into the pandemic with a VR set. And maybe not everybody has enough space for it. Maybe not everybody has enough money for it. Like, I've always wanted to get one, but at the same time, I'm like, do I really need one? Most of the games that I play don't need it. So I probably, in my life, I might get one, but currently, probably not. So what can you do, right? So that is all of the topics I have written down. I guess we'll talk for a few more minutes. Let's talk about Star Wars Hunters. That Star Wars game they announced like last month or something like that. They announced Star Wars Hunters. I'm believing that it's like a battle royale. It's Star Wars. That's what I'm assuming. Do I like this idea? Yes. Because I was sitting down one day. Do I like the fact that it's only on Switch and mobile? That's a little worrisome. Am I excited for it, though? Yeah, I'll probably get it on Switch. Another Switch game for me. That's great. Supposedly, it's also free to play. That's a little worrisome. Because it's like, well, how are they going to get their money? Are they going to do pay to win? If they do pay to win, then a lot of people will download it, see that it's pay to win, and then probably leave. And only the rich people will get to play it. Or is it going to be cosmetic stuff? And if it's going to be cosmetic stuff, to what degree? Is it going to be like Fortnite, where it's skins and maybe some skins have some variations? Or is it going to be like heads, body, arms, legs kind of thing, where you could change each part of those? That would be kind of cool. There's like different classes you can pick. There's like a Wookiee, there's like a heavy gunner, and like a bounty hunter, and like a Sith/Jedi. I am kind of interested because it seems like it's going to be squad based. I kind of hope they have like solos, duos, trios, and squads, like Fortnite does. Or even a Team Rumble mode. I think that would be cool. But they could do large scale, since Star Wars is kind of known for large scale battles, like the Clone Wars. Technically, the era is the Empire versus the Rebels, which, to my knowledge, was not as like large scale battles. There was the Battle of Hoth, but when I think of numbers, based on the way the movie looked, it was not as massive as something you would see throughout the Clone Wars, right? So Star Wars Hunters is a thing. It's supposedly releasing this year as well. I am excited to play it. I want to see how it goes. Let's talk about one more game, because I've recently on stream I've been playing Squadrons, Star Wars Squadrons, the starfighter pilot game that was very niche. And when it was announced, I was like, oh. And as it developed, I was still kind of like, oh, because I am not really a starfighter pilot, if you will. If you've watched me play the game, you will have known that I've bounced off several things. You don't crash into things, you kind of bounce off them. Which I love the fact that you bounce and you don't just blow up on impact. Makes the game easier for people like me, who can't fly and go full speed into the back of a jamming ship. I love it. The story's been good so far. There's some things that I personally probably would have done differently. I hope I haven't gotten too far into the campaign yet. I haven't heard much about the story either. I just know that it's short, which I don't mind. The multiplayer has a bunch of customizations to it. I like the customizations, or the ships outside. You can't really see customizations anyway on the outside. You got a couple like inside decorations you can do. I really like the way the TIE Fighter sounds. You play as the TIE Fighter during the tutorial, maybe a little bit of the first mission. I don't remember. The TIE Fighter sound, when you shoot, they sound very thuddy, and I love that. It sounds really good. The X-Wings do not sound as thuddy, and I was a little disappointed, and I kind of want to go back to playing as a TIE Fighter just so I can hear the thuddiness. I really did enjoy it, though. I have been enjoying it so far. I am struggling with the gameplay a little bit, but I want to play through the story before I start doing multiplayer. I might even in my off time do the training for the multiplayer, and then start doing multiplayer so I can practice in my off time. Because to my knowledge, it's squad versus squad. Then you go back and forth. Yeah, so Squadrons is okay. I've heard mixed reviews about it. Some people love it, some people hate it. It is for a very niche group of people. I feel like my opinion might change on it after I start playing the multiplayer more. Supposedly, it's going to go up on the EA store, or one of those stores. EA Play Pass or something like that. Some more people will be playing it soon, is what I've heard. So it might be easier to get into multiplayer because I'll be going up against more people my rank. Maybe. We'll see. So that's kind of it for the Squadrons talk. I have played Fallen Order before. I have a whole bunch of Star Wars games on my Xbox console right now, including a couple other games that I can play for Fridays, and then I have Minecraft still, and I need to finish Minecraft. That might be Saturday's stream, is just doing that. yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's going to be it for today's New Dawn, the New Dawn podcast. I forget to add the in front of it. Um, did I? I don't remember. Sorry this video was so scuffed. It did turn out to be about an hour. And I'm just gonna upload it like this. I hope you enjoyed it. The next video that I do of the New Dawn podcast is going to be by far better because you won't have to hear me say every 30 seconds. It'll be like every minute. I when I do the final part, when I do like today, I'm gonna just upload it unedited. From here on out though, because my camera should be charged, I should be able to just edit the video as soon as I'm done. I could still technically do the video, but I want to upload it as it is for the first one, just to show how scuffed this is. That's a new term going into my vocabulary. Hope you enjoyed it though. I hope it was everything you thought it was going to be. Maybe even more. I sat here and talked for an hour. That's fun, right? From here on out, I am going to pick probably 2 to 3 topics per podcast, kind of like I did today. I think Star Wars will be a recurring topic because I just have so much to talk about Star Wars. I've been watching a lot of the Clone Wars recently. I think I could do a podcast alone about Star Wars, honestly. And I might do that sometimes. I'm going to be doing 3 podcasts a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Because today was not as hectic as I thought it was going to be, although I did only stream for about an hour today. I might still do the Twitch stream and the podcast in the same day, but I don't know yet. We'll have to see. I really hope when I upload this video, it does not upload upside down. Oh, I really hope it does not. I really hope it doesn't. I'll be done. If it uploads upside down, I'll put in like the description or something. Watch the video upside down on your phone. I really hope that's not the case, but I will do what I must, if you know what I mean. So I hope you enjoyed though, because I enjoyed. I had fun sitting here and talking for an hour. I think as this progresses, it will become nicer, more edited. Especially the next one. This one was mainly just because I didn't have my camera prepared. My computer is here, but I don't want to take the time to get the video from my phone to my computer and then upload it to YouTube. I'd rather just upload it straight to YouTube. If you've never worked with YouTube before, it takes away a lot of the internet to do it from my computer. I don't know if it does it less from my phone. Being a content creator is not as easy as some people might think, especially when you're not good with technology. So, for example, I was recording gameplay for this YouTube channel, but now I haven't tested it in a while because the last time I did it, it seemed pretty bad. I could not get any game audio from my capture card, and I tried to get in contact with the company, and they never got back to me. So now I'm either going to wait until I can get a new capture card, or I'm going to see if there's anything I can do to fix it. But even so, I think I might just start using this YouTube channel for the podcast because I'm streaming games over on Twitch. So if you want to see me play some games, I've been playing Minecraft over on my Twitch, Gordy_22. I stream every single day except for days when I don't feel like it, which is like 0.1% of the time now, because I always like playing video games. It's giving me, by doing Twitch though, it's giving me more of a reason to play video games during the week, and it's starting to put, because like before I was just watching YouTube, sometimes I'd watch the Clone Wars, This is why it's taking me so long to get through the Clone Wars, is because I don't watch them back to back to back to back to back. I don't binge watch it. Or when I do want to watch it, I binge watch it. But there's like several gaps of days in between watching episodes. I've finished season 3 like yesterday or the day before that, and then I got through all of not all of, but a majority of it, of season 4. And I got a few more episodes of season 4, and then I'm on season 5, and then I move on to season 5. A lot of fun happens in season 5. For sure. Anyways, hope you enjoyed. I know I enjoyed. I do want to do this. I do think it will be fun, and it will bring more purpose to YouTube again. Because I've kind of not done anything with YouTube for like 2 months, since like January 1st. So, more stuff's coming to YouTube. TikTok, every day, 20 videos. Please go support the 20 videos, because it's a lot. It's mentally draining. Become a content creator. It's a lot of fun, they say. Bye.